There's a good chance that tomorrow I'll be taking on the B Manny in my first ever Sabotage match. Some of you might be thinking, like, what the heck is Sabotage? Well, basically it's a game mode that was invented by DAP, and they actually ran an entire Sabotage tournament. I just wasn't a part of that one, but I am a part of this tournament. And the way it works is normally in the incursions, you are trying to help out your partner as you team up to push as far as possible. Well, it's the exact opposite. You're in the incursion still, but you are actively trying to get your partner killed. You're trying to make their life absolutely miserable until they lose all of their champions. Sounds like it was inspired by the matchmaking system, if any of you guys have ever used the matchmaking system. But here's how it works. At the start of the fight, you decide, or start of the incursion run, you decide who's going to be going left and who's going to be going right, and then you're stuck with those sides for the rest of the run. And as you approach the first set of champions, normally you take out the more annoying linked node to make your partner's life easy. Well, again, non-Sabotage, man, you're trying to get them killed. So you could either just leave up whatever node looks more annoying, or you can take a look at your partner's champions and say, like, I don't see any bleed immunes there, and I just so happen to have a biohazard node, and leave up that biohazard node and wish them the best of luck getting through it without bleeding out, So you just want to make their life miserable, and then if both players make it through the mini bosses here, then of course we approach the end of room boss. And whoever can take out this end of room boss gets to decide a champion on the opposing player's team that they brought in gets to just remove one of those champions. That player has to then swap out that champion in the next room. Now, it's not a speed thing as far as who gets, first crack at the boss. Basically, you decide this at the start of the run as well. Who's going to be taking the odd zone number bosses and who's going to be taking the even zone number bosses. If someone dies to the boss, even if they just lose one single champion, then the opposing player gets a crack at that boss. And sometimes that's going to be a good thing, sometimes it's going to be a bad thing. Like, let's say the first player, they try to take down the boss, and they almost do it. The boss is down to like 20% health. Oh man, the opposing player is going to swoop right in, clean up that boss, and then get to pick a champion for the other player to lose, essentially. But if that second player also dies, then it goes back, and you basically just go back and forth, and whichever player is able to take down the boss, they get to decide, again, from a champion from the opposing player's team of who to remove. Now, a couple rules with this. You have to decide in this room which champion your opponent is going to be removing. You can't, take a sneak peek ahead of time. If your opposing player, if they lose all three champions, then you win, because that's the entire point of the game. You cannot use like the full team revive at the end here if all of your champions are dead, at least. If you only have like one champion dead, then you could still revive them. You cannot use any items of any sort. No force closes, no fake timeouts, no cheating of any kind is allowed. And in the event of a tie, like let's say both players get stuck on their mini bosses here, well, whichever champion it has a lower amount of health, that player will win. And kind of the same thing for the boss. If both players totally wipe out to the boss, whichever player was able to deal more damage to that boss, just in total, they get the win. So that's the gist of it. It's possible I might have missed one of the little nuances to the game mode, but I'm excited to play it, man. And B Manny, he actually made it to the finals of the last incursion tourney. So this is not going to be an easy time. There's a lot of strategy involved. The depth of a player's roster really, is important for something like this, because if every other room you're getting a champion just cut from your team, you have to have a good champion to turn to next. So yeah, luckily I've got some champs ranked up, but I know B Manny does too, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, tomorrow night, as long as there's no scheduled conflicts, that's when the run is going to go down. Hope to see you all there. Thank you very much for watching this video. Good luck if you're going to try a Sabotage match yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.